What is up, my Lorcana goons? Welcome back to the Friday Market Watch. We do these every Monday and Friday, so if you like this content, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you are a Lorcana goon. Today, we're going to talk about some Lorcana news, some pricing of some cards as we get to Into the Inklands, which comes out in just 7 days from now. So I do want to say thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations, we've made it to Friday. If you're here, I do appreciate you. But check this out. We have some enchanted news that we're gonna go over. This is probably the best enchanted rare we're gonna have, I think, in the set. And then along came Zeus. It's an enchanted song. This is the first time we get an enchanted that is not a character, and this isn't going to be the only enchanted non-character in Into the Inklands. So if you guys had seen the rumors, people kind of did the math based on like the numbering, the serial numbers on the cards, and they realized that there's I think 6 extra spaces left. So because of that, there's a lot of rumors going around about, is it going to be location enchanteds? Are we going to have item enchanteds? And lo and behold, we had a variety. Today we got the enchanted locations revealed to us as well. Here's one of the examples: RLS Legacy Solar Galleon. This is pretty cool right here. It's the location for Ruby, but it's an enchanted version, and that's not the only one. Check this out. We have the Sorcerer's Hat as well as an enchanted rare. We now officially have enchanted items, enchanted locations, enchanted songs, and enchanted characters. It's looking pretty wild. We got a lot of reveals this week. All of these enchanteds were revealed. We have Kernabog, we have Scrooge McDuck, we also have Grandma Tala, we have a Mickey Mouse. It's looking like an enchanted party for the Into the Inklands set. So we are getting extra enchanteds basically in this set. Normally we were getting I think it was about 12 enchanted. So in this one, I think we're getting 15, something like that. It might be even more. But what do you guys think of that? Do you think it's gonna make the prices of enchanteds less expensive, more expensive? Is it gonna be easier to pull an enchanted? Probably right. That's what I'm expecting. But I'm not sure what this is going to do to the market. But some of these enchantments look pretty dope, like the Jafar. This one is probably going to be one of the most sought after ones next to like the Kernabog and Scrooge McDuck. But somebody check on my boy, Breezy. Check out the Cusco's Palace enchanted rare. So the enchanted locations, Pride Rock, here's another one. And then we also have Belle's House as an enchanted location, and the RLS Legacy, like I just mentioned. So let me know what you guys think of these enchanted rares. We now have non-character enchanted rares. I personally like the idea of it. I do feel like having enchanted locations, I thought it was going to be a little meh because, you know, it's just a location. How do you make it look pretty or whatever? But this artwork is just divine. I'm digging it. I am digging the artwork. So enchanted rares for Into the Inklands. We have all the cards officially released now, by the way. So the entire set is released. We have product images. We have everything to go off of now. I'm very excited. 7 more days, my goons, before we get to see Into the Inklands in action. So let me know what you guys think. Like I said, are you guys going to be collecting the song enchanteds, the item enchanteds, like some of these like Sorcerer's Hat or Along Came Zeus? I think Along Came Zeus is going to be one of the coolest ones right next to Jafar. But speaking of Jafar, check out these pre-order prices for Jafar Striking Illusionist, which is going to be the Amethyst Legendary that was revealed this week. This card is pretty dope. It's a 7 ink character. It's inkable. He has 4 strength, 5 willpower. It's a shift 5 character, so you can slap this on top of Jafar. There's a bunch of Jafars in the game anyway, so this makes it pretty easy. This guy has evasive as well, and he has an extra ability that says during your turn, while this character is exerted, when you draw a card, you gain 1 lore. And yes, this does go off with a whole new world, and you will gain 7 lore with a whole new world with this card. Awesome card. Is it going to be the best card in the set? Maybe. Very well. Should you pay $60 for this legendary? Definitely not, because the most expensive legendary that we have is only about $40, which is going to be Sad Beast. And in general, I feel like Sad Beast is used in every single steel color right now, and I feel like steel was the only color combination with something else you could play against Ruby Amethyst outside of maybe like a Mufasa deck. So, and then at one point Rapunzel was like $60, $70, right? But that's when everybody was playing Amber decks. It was the first chapter. The card pool was very small. So I don't think this is going to be a $60 legendary. It'll probably settle around 30 to 35, mainly because I do think that you can play plenty of other decks in the format, not just Amethyst decks, which is pretty cool. So it's food for thought. Let me know what you guys think if you're going to be buying this for $60. I'm going to wait for sure with a lot of these prices because Ursula, Deceiver of All, check this card out. I don't think it's going to be $50. It's a great card, but $50 card, maybe not. And I say that like, I'm trying to peek into the future as in what price is going to settle at when everyone gets the cards, when there's a lot of availability around and it's not as scarce. So Ursula, this card, pretty dope. 3 ink, inkable, 2 strength, 3 willpower, deceiver of all, ability that says whenever this character sings a song, you may play that song again from your discard pile for free. Then put it to the bottom of your deck. So yes, if you sing a song, if you sing like Friends on the Other Side with this card, you can definitely play it again and you'll draw 4. I think my favorite interaction for this is probably going to be Bare Necessities and cards like that are going to be able to generate value by discarding 2 cards from your opponent's hand or something like that. It's not a shiftable, so you can't really slap it on top of any Ursulas or anything like that, but it's still just a 3 ink character. It does only have 3 willpower, so maybe Smash might be very popular, but we have plenty of cards in the set that'll out this, like Along Came Zeus, the enchanted rare. So I just wanted to point it out. It's on TCG Player already. There's no listings, but who knows what the prices are going to be for this card. Another legendary was revealed, Grandma Tala, the Spirit of the Ocean. This is pretty awesome. 7 ink, inkable, 4 strength, 8 willpower, shift 5. You can slap this onto your Grandma Talas, which is pretty dope. And whenever you put a card into your inkwell, you gain 1 lore. So now Sapphire has alternative win conditions as well outside of locations that are going to give you lore for committing to your strategy, which is pretty awesome. This card's also an enchanted rare. A lot of the enchanted rares are legendaries, which is really cool to see. $43 is what it's priced at right now as a pre-order, and I don't think you should be paying that because, like I mentioned, it seems more like the reason why Sad Beast is like $50 to $40 is because of the demand and of a need to play Steel right now in this format. So in general, look at a card like Mufasa, which is played in Ruby Amber and Emerald Amber, and it's not the most popular deck to choose, either one of those. So we can see that in the Mufasa price, it's only about $20 still. So do you think Grandma Tala is going to be $43? I don't think everyone's going to be playing Sapphire. I think most people are going to want to gravitate to the Amethyst package with Jafar, or we're probably going to stick around and keep playing cards like Goat, Rabbit, etc., which in general, I think gaining lore from Goats is a little bit more convenient than gaining lore from Jafar. Not to say that Jafar is not playable, because if you have that Jafar on board, Exerted, and I start playing Rabbits and Maleficents and Friends on the Other Side, ooh, I'm going to gain so much lore. So the game's looking like it's headed in a interesting direction. I am extremely excited for this, especially some of these enchanted rares. We also have an Ursula. That same Ursula I just showed you also comes in an enchanted rare. I think these are going to be really hyped. I think these might be some of the best enchanted rares. I know a lot of people don't like the artwork for these. I personally love it. I feel like these should be in a museum. So it's pretty cool to see. I don't know how I feel about getting extra enchanted rares this set, but I am confident this set is going to shake up the meta a little bit because the legendaries in this set just seem a little bit more reasonable. You know what I mean? To check out this Jafar. Oh my god, this Jafar Illusionist enchanted rare. Oh, it looks so good. I like this one a lot. This is probably going to be one of the ones that I want personally. But if you want any of these cards, we only have to wait 7 more days for Into the Inklands to be launched at your local game stores. So make sure you hit up your local game stores, try and set some pre-orders. If you don't have any local game stores around you and you don't mind waiting the shipping time frame, on TCG Player, you can find the Into the Inklands booster box for well below MSRP, about $10 to $15 less than MSRP, which is pretty cool. We have Infinite Consortium right here. They have 17 of them for you for $128. Next, we have A+ cards. They have 39 of them for $128, and it keeps going and going. This person, Gamer's Choice, they have 160 of them for you, and it's the same price, $128. Now, I feel like when I first saw the first chapter and Rise of the Floodborn, there was nowhere near as many listings. And for Into the Inklands, there is a bunch of listings available. So because of that, I'm not really going to do pre-orders this time around. I don't think I'm going to go camping out at my LGS because I'm honestly just confident that I'm going to be able to find the booster boxes at less than MSRP. Even if it's like $130, $140, I'll still pay it cash. Ideally, I want to be able to hit up my distro plug, aka Zach Stone, who helps me with the market watches, and see if he has access to Lorcana, because I want to be able to provide the packs for tournaments. I want to be able to, give away packs for free in those videos I've been doing. So getting it at distro price would be ideal for me personally. And I hope that I can achieve that because of the amount that is in the market. Clearly, Ravensburger knew what they were doing this time around, and they are trying to basically give enough to go around for this set during the pre-release launch. So I'm pretty excited. Friday can't come soon enough. I want the meta to change. But in the meantime, let's take a look at some of these other prices, like the first chapter booster box that has been going up just a little bit in price. As we've been seeing the enchanted rares from the first chapter been shooting up. The first chapter booster booster boxes are still seeing plenty of sales this week. Just yesterday alone, it's looking like there was more than 15 sales, and all of those selling for $200, $203. As of today, lowest verified is going to be 203 by Bocino, unopened booster box, and they have a couple of them. So the first chapter booster boxes, definitely less of them, obviously. This person has 6 of them, this person has 12 of them, this person only has 1. So it is going to be a little bit more scarce. That price is going to be a little bit higher, and a lot of the enchanted rares from the first chapter are still starting to rise. So let's take a look at everybody's favorite and most expensive card in the game, Enchanted Elsa, Spirit of Winter. This card sold yesterday. A couple of them actually sold yesterday for less than that $800 mark, which is cool to see. It did kind of bounce off that $800 mark. We had that one sale on the 12th for $810. After that, it was $775, $720. That's a light plate though. Then 2 sales for $750 on the 14th. Valentine's Day, huh? Maybe you somebody bought themselves a Valentine's Day present. That's pretty cool. And then yesterday, more sales for less than $800, but around that $750 price range. But as of today, there's no more listings in that $700 price range. The lowest verified is going to be by JM's TCG for $825. Now, what do you guys think? Do you think this is going to keep going up? Do you think that the introduction to into the Inklands in our market is going to make this card less sought after? I think Elsa is a very niche card. It's obviously the most expensive one. We've been saying that. We've been following it for the longest time. At one point, it did sell for more than 1,000. There was like one sale that was recorded, and a couple of the highest sales were around $800, $850. You know, and it's looking like we're getting to that point, but it is bouncing off that $800 mark. And I just kind of want to know if you guys think that people are going to prioritize collecting into the Inklands now. There's more enchanters in that set. Does that mean that people aren't going to focus on Elsas, or is it just more on the level of like collectors are going to collect what they want to collect? And Elsa being the prize chase card, it's always going to see. Do you think it's always going to see some type of sales movement? I feel like it's always going to see sales movement. It could kind of stick around this $700 dollar mark now that we haven't seen any real first chapter reprints confirmed or anything like that. And there is only still 19 listings for this card available. So I'm thinking it's going to stick around this price range for a cool minute before it goes up or before it even comes falling down. So I would be patient, at least in terms of just seeing like what's going to happen with the market before getting rid of yours or something. But I mean, if you have one of these and you want to make some money, I don't see why you shouldn't list it for $800+. You know what I mean? If you bought these at $300 around that price and you can list it for $800, that seems like a come up to me, you know. And I don't feel like this is gonna go over $1,000 like that quick or anytime soon. It very well could, but I'm just terrified they're gonna reprint more of the first chapter. And a lot of games, what they tend to do, instead of like reprinting booster boxes, they'll reprint the packs and they'll add them to like a new like special edition sealed product. Like I imagine Lorcana is eventually gonna make like a little box that comes with packs from the first chapter, Into the Inklands, and Rise of the Floodborn. And if they do that, that still counts as a reprint. So I think that might mess with the pricing of a lot of the first chapter as well. All this is speculation. None of this is confirmed. But when you look at the Lorcana release schedule of what's to come out this year, there's 4 base sets and there's about 1 or 2 other items that nobody knows what they're going to be. You know what I mean? They could be like the Pokemon ETBs, like our troves. They could be something else, like Yu-Gi-Oh! Has special editions where they come with packs from different sets. So I am a little bit worried about that. So I personally am not going to pay this much for an Elsa. But that's what I'm doing. And if I never get a chance to pay less than this, then obviously I'm going to be sad. But that's the risk I'm willing to take. I feel like if Elsa does come down a little bit more than this, I might actually make a buy. Here's another card I enjoy keeping tabs on. Plenty of Bell Strange but specials were selling yesterday actually, and Valentine's Day for around that $280 mark. On Valentine's Day, most of them sold for $240, $250. All of those are gone now. Yesterday we had a couple sales for $279, $255, $280. As of today, the lowest verified is going to be by Back Card Emporium, $289.99. And then after that, Blinged Out Deck has you for $298 with 99 cents. So Bell is on its way to be a $300 enchanted rare. That's honestly cool to see. This one has been really popular. I feel like a lot of people were always trading or buying Bells. It also has some hidden Mickeys, which is kind of cool. What do you guys think? Is this card worth picking up right now? I feel like if you're picking it up now, you might be chasing it a little bit, but it is still within that price range, close to $250. So if you could find one for $250, I would pay $250 for this card. I think it's pretty cool, and I think it should be. I think it will eventually be more than $300 $300. It is one of the enchanted rares. It's one of the princesses that I've noticed that sells a lot more compared to some of the other enchanted rares. Like Simba, for example, has been seeing some good sales movement this week though, which is pretty cool to see. So we have a couple sales happening yesterday for that 189 mark, 169, 180, and then on Valentine's Day, 160, 145 for the Simba enchanted rare. As of today, lowest verified for a near mint is going to be by Card X Cards for 189.37. That's for a near mint though. You have some light plates here available for 175 if you guys want a light plate. But I wouldn't buy a light plate if I could just pay about $5 more or $10 more for a near mint. So Simba about to bounce off that $200 mark. It might go more than 200. That's kind of interesting to see. There's still 25 listings for this one though. Arthur Wizard's Apprentice has been seeing some sales movement and sticking around that $130 range. It might hop over 150 soon because I think this one's pretty popular. And if you guys didn't know, we're doing an Arthur Enchanted tournament this coming Tuesday in Long Beach at P-Lake Cards and Games at 6:45 p.m. So if you guys are in the Southern California area and you want to play a tournament and win some cool prizing like a first place enchanted rare Arthur, be sure to come on down to SoCal Long Beach area and reach out to us on Discord, Twitter, Instagram, etc. Anywhere if you need any information. We're also going to be giving away PAX promo cards as prizing for the top 3 outside of the first place, so top 4. So that's going to be cool as well. Shout out to MetaPotion TCG on Twitter, by the way, for providing the PAX promo cards. I really appreciate you, bro. That's going to be a really cool tournament. I'm really excited to host it. It's going to be the last tournament of Floodborne before we head into the Inklands format. So I'm kind of excited for that. Like I said, please come on down and enjoy the tournament if you can. I always give away packs as well. So Mickey Mouse Wayward Sorcerer, this card was selling for a little bit more than what it's listed at today. A couple sales were happening during the hype week for that like 240 mark. This week more were happening for that 240 mark as well. Like yesterday we have 2 sales for $239. Before that on the 14th, 220, 218, 220, which is cool. And the lowest verified today is going to be by Versus Games for $250. So some of the enchanters are definitely keeping their value. Even the most inexpensive enchanted rares like Hades, King of Olympus have been selling for well over $100. At one point, this card was the first enchanted rare to hit under $100. It was the least important enchanted rare, I would say. I feel like people weren't really picking this one up. Today, lowest verified for a near mint is going to be by the Uncharted TCG for $134, and that's pretty much what it's been selling out this whole week. We have a sale today for $134, and plenty of sales this week from the 10th to the 15th in that $130 range. So even the cheapest enchanted rare from the first chapter is now $130, and I feel like that's why the booster box is about $200 now. So if you pull one of these, I feel like you're getting a decent amount of money back. And in general, if you pull like one enchanted and maybe like a good legendary, that might pay for the whole box depending on, if the legendary is foil or not. So the first chapter booster boxes I think have some good value. Some of the enchanted rares from the Rise of the Floodborne set have been coming down a little bit too. They did kind of have a good week last week, and as of today they're starting to sell. None of them are less than $100 though. Even Pete and Namari are still over $100. So I feel like the enchanted rares with the Into the Inklands, if you see any that are less than $100, probably just pick them up, right? Because now we're seeing that the enchanted rares for sure have a value of at least $100 or more from what it's looking like. But enough of the enchanted news. Let's take a look at the singles. While we're only 1 week away for Into the Inklands, let's see what's going on with the singles game. So as we can see here, Sad Beast has been falling in price, which I kind of mentioned was going to happen last week. I'm surprised it didn't fall much in price on Monday, but from Monday to Friday, there's a decent difference. Most of these were selling for like $50 last week, and then during the week this week, a lot of sales for $35 were happening, and I think that's a pretty good price for Beast. For a non-foil Beast in general, right, you don't know if it's going to be good next format. I think the card itself is just really good. It draws you cards, so I don't think it's going to be bad in any format. But really, you got to ask yourself, are you going to be playing for Beast next format? How many do you really need? How many do you want to buy if we don't even know what's popping into the Inklands yet? So I do want to go ahead and look at a lot of these sales, because there was plenty of sales movement this week for Beast, like there always is. But like I said, most of them were selling for around $40 or less now, which is pretty cool to see. On Monday, they were still selling for about $50. But yeah, as of today, the lowest verified is going to be by Classic Cards and More for $42.50. And then we have Sons of Arceus, $42.99. So still close to that $45 mark, but after seeing a bunch of sales happening for $35 to $39 this week, I feel like that might be where Sad Beast is on its way to, less than $40, especially now that Into the Inklands is bringing in some new legendaries to hype up our meta. I get the feeling a lot of people are going to have to get rid of the current cards they have to start investing in some of these Into the Inklands cards. You know what I mean? So the Sad Beast and a foil version is going to be selling for $65.47 by Burlington Card Shop, lowest verified. After that, the next verified seller has it for $69.69 by Crispies. So check that out. Sad Beast is already on its way to be a $70 cold foil legendary. We even have a sale today for $65.47 for this cold foil. You're basically paying $70 after tax and shipping if you're buying it online. So I feel like most vendors are going to take that into consideration and probably charge you $65 or $70 around that price. So take that into consideration if you're trying to haul out your deck. But I do think it's a decent buy to kind of cop any legendary foils, because legendary foils tend to really hold their value. For example, the legendary Mickey Brave Little Tailor. We have the lowest verified for $80 by Zexion Cards. And like I said before in the other market watches, we're still ignoring the banana stand. I get the feeling that this I don't know what's going on. They always have listings up for absurdly less, but you can never add them to your cart. So I don't know if they're just trying to manipulate the market price or what the heck, but the banana stand, if you watch these videos, please stop making this hard for me, because I always see your listings and I get excited and then I'm like, oh wait, I can't buy any of those. But so today, lowest verified for the Mickey Brave Little Tailor foil is $80. And as we can see from the sales data right here, a couple were selling for that $70 range. We have one sale yesterday for $69.99. After that, the next cold foil sale was a light plate on Valentine's Day for $45. Look at this one. On the 13th, one sold for $77, and then on the 13th, another one sold for $99. We have a sale for the Mickey BLT for $100 this week. Now, you guys tell me, is Mickey BLT a $100 foil in your opinion? Is it worth $100? Do you think that this card is going to hit $100 or more in the future? I feel like right now there's only 12 listings, and it's already at $80. When those listings get even lower, this card could well be over $100 for legendary foil. So, if you have legendary foil Mickey BLTs, I would save them. I still have mine. I want to sell it because it's $80 right now and I got it for like 25, but like I said, I still have mine. I'm gonna hold on to it. I kind of want to just keep it and see, like, you know, what happens to this card as scarcity grows and grows, you know what I mean? But let's take a look at some other Ruby enchanters, like Ruby legendaries like Maleficent Monstrous Dragon, which has been losing a lot of meta interest and been seeing a dip in pricing. I think this card's still going to be good next format, especially if people are going to be playing cards like Jafar and Ursula. You're going to want to be able to snipe some of those cards before they can use their abilities. Obviously, this is a 9-drop character, but realistically, I feel like a lot of these cards are definitely more than usable in formats, even though they are high cost, especially in a deck like Ruby Amethyst. You have a lot of removal from turns 1 through 7 to be able to kind of slow the game down, and then later on, you can drop this card. It does not impact locations. Obviously, it only targets characters, but I still think that's going to be really awesome next format. The card did fall in price though. Lowest verified today is going to be by Card Distro for $30.45. This card was $40 at one point non-foil. I feel like right now it's $30. It could even drop more as Into the Inklands comes into the rotation of the format, but I think $30 is a decent price if you plan on playing it next format. I remember in the beginning of Rise of the Photoborn format, a lot of the first chapter enchanteds fell to like absurd prices, like prices as low as this card was selling for $25. And I really feel like people should really buy those at that price if you want to complete either your collection or start making cards for your deck. You know what I mean? The cold foils though are just my favorite type of card to buy. Lowest verified today is going to be by Flower City Games for $67.50. The cold foils are coming down as well. Naturally, people are playing this card less. There's going to be more in circulation to sell. So if this dips below 60, I might consider buying some of the cold foils too, because it's just a cool legendary to have, and I have nostalgia for it already. I'm gonna love looking back at the first format, the second format, and being like, man, Maleficent Monstrous Dragon was so broken. I think Sapphire is a little bit hyped right now, so because of that, Belle Strange but Special has been seeing a lot more interest, and we have a lot of sales movement for this card. And today alone, we already have 5 sales, and it's barely 10 a.m. over here in California. A bunch of cold foils were selling for $40 plus. On the 15th, $45. On the 15th, $41. And all of the Belles that were selling for $25 are gone. As of this week, they were selling for more than $25. $29, $28, $27. Yesterday, $29.97. Today, lowest verified is going to be by Health Points TCG. They have you for $28 right there if you want a Bell Strange But special. The next person is going to have it for $24 and $5 plus shipping. So also $29 by YCG Birmingham. Okay, pretty awesome to see. Bell just been shooting up in price. I did not expect that, especially because Sapphire didn't really see a lot of play until the end of the format, and I was a little bit worried that we weren't going to get good Sapphire cards outside of those items. But as you can tell, you can now gain lore with cards like Grandma Tala, and I think Sapphire has a lot of potential next format. So this card might be a staple in the future sets as well, so consider picking it up. If you're confident Sapphire is going to be like the deck, right? Why not get these in foil? We've seen how Sad Beast, Rapunzel, Maleficent Monstrous Dragon, those cold foils are now selling for dang near $70. This one being at $40, I think is a come up because it's a princess. You know what I mean? Let's take a look at Hades Infernal Schemer, another Sapphire card that has been seeing a lot of sales movement this week, selling for around $22 to $25. Lowest verified is going to be by Eater of the Worlds Collect, $20 and $2 for shipping. Next is going to be GNC Paradise, $22.95. So 23, still around $23 to $25. A staple in every Sapphire deck, right? Like no matter what comes out in Sapphire, you're pretty much always going to play Hades. I'm a little surprised Hades is less expensive than Bell Strange But special, because I feel like Hades is a little bit more necessary. But hey, like I said, Bell being a princess is going to add that little extra oomph, a little bit extra tax. So Bell will probably always be more than Hades now. Another princess that we love to look at on this channel is Rapunzel, gifted with healing. So this card selling for $35 still. This card has never really changed its price. It's always been $35. It's like whole format, right? But I really want to just see the foils for this card. But like I said, lowest verified today, $34.87 by Kevin Little Shop. So shout out you for that awesome price. We have the lowest verified cold foil listing here though for a whopping $72.92 by the Dragon's Roost. Wow. So more than $70, my goons, is what Rapunzel is being listed at now. And we have some sales to confirm this as well. Yesterday, one sold for $72.50. Before that, another one sold for $72 on the 14th. So, hey, a lot of you goons on Valentine's Day just be treating yourself right, huh? I like that. That's good. Yeah, treat yourself right. Buy yourself some foils. You deserve it. So now we have Rizzo Rips for $73 after the Dragon's Roost. So close to $75 for this legendary foil. And it's a princess. It's not even the most popular card that people play in Amber, but it's such a good card in Lorcana. And like I mentioned, that princess tax is always going to carry some weight. I want to talk about Mufasa because I did mention in one of the other market watches that maybe Mufasa doesn't see play next format. So I was thinking these being at $20 was a good a good time to get rid of them. But low key, I'm thinking with the rise of cards like Bare Necessities and that Ursula card that lets you take songs out of your opponent's hand, I think this card's kind of good, right? Because now you can make a Mufasa deck with complete just a bunch of characters, and if you play against a deck like that tries to use Bare Necessities on you, they get no value. They can see your hand and nothing happens, but they get no value. So I feel like this card might actually be good next format, especially with decks that can play Kernabog, right? So I do have a list in mind that I have been cooking up where it just plays only characters and it plays only cats and dogs, and Kernabog. So cats, dogs, and Satan is what I call the deck. Pretty cool. I don't know if you want to get rid of these. I have 2 foils and I was planning on getting rid of them before Into the Inklands, so I can have a little bit of extra money on, am I spending so I can cop some more stuff. But I don't think I'm gonna get rid of these actually. I think Mufasa is a really good card, and right now it's still selling for $32 on the foil, and I'm gonna just keep it. I think it might even go up considering that the Mufasa is like an iconic Disney character. We have Belle, Hidden Archer, seeing a lot of sales movement as well. Multiple sales happening today for that $10 range. We have a cold foil that sold for $21.45. Into the Inklands is around the corner, and a lot of people are going to use this with Morph. I was hoping there would be a 1-drop Belle, but we didn't get a 1-drop Belle, so I don't think it's going to be the most expensive card, and I don't think it's going to be the most playable card either. Morph is cool, but I don't know if it makes this card just like that good. But I get the feeling that regardless of how good it is, it's going to be hyped. So if you want this card, before the hype, I think you should just get it right now because it's still $10. They've been selling for around that $9 to $10 range right now. But the foils are only $20, and Belle is a princess. So, why not? Also, if they ever drop a 1 ink Belle, this card's just broken. You know what I mean? So I personally want a playset of foils for this card because I'd have just a feeling that they'll eventually release a 1 or 2 drop Belle, which would be pretty cool, right? Elsa, Spirit of Winter. This card still selling for around that $15 range for the non-foil. Lowest verified is going to be by Onboard Gaming today for $15. But lowest verified for the near mint cold foil is a huge difference from the last time we checked it. Check this out. Hot Sauce Games is the lowest verified near mint, and they have it for $59.95. $60 for the Elsa Spirit of Winter now, man. This is lowest verified. There's a couple other listings here that aren't verified sellers, and they have it for around that $45 range, and there's 3 of those, so you know you can still get it for less than $50 if you really wanted to, but it's getting close to $60, my goons. It's you know, in terms of verified sellers, the next page they're all gonna be listed at $60, so you can get a discount, get it for less than 60. But if all those non-verified sellers sell, this is gonna be a $60 foil very, very soon. Next we have Ursula Power Hungry. This foil also seeing some love this week. There's only 11 listings left, and they are $39.95 for the lowest verified listing by MPL's Card Exchange. So pretty interesting. Only 11 listings, but it's only $40. I feel like this card could go up as well. At one point, this card was more expensive for the foil, so I'm surprised it's only $40 right now. Stitch Carefree Surfer, still selling for around $15 for the non-foil. Most of the non-foil prices are staying the same, so if you just need non-foils for your deck or your collection, I mean, buying them now and buying them next week might not be the biggest difference, but who knows if people are going to need Surfer Stitch next format with all the locations running around. I feel like the game might be a little faster, so maybe you don't need a draw 2 on turn 7, right? Blorg's Hobby Shop has you for $37.99 for the lowest verified foil. Stitch Carefree Surfer. A Whole New World has been going up in price, my goons. Check this out. I imagine this is because of that Jafar hype that we talked about in the beginning of the video. You can combine this with Jafar and basically gain 7 lore. If you drop 2 of these, you gain 14 lore. You're well above halfway of the win condition. You know what I mean? So like I mentioned, this card seeing a lot of sales movement this week. Today alone, we already have, oh my goodness, we have like 20 sales from just today, and all of these are over $10 now. This card was around $5 at one point in the middle of the format. Then it was like $7 to $8, and I had been saying pick these up. This is a staple. This is a good card no matter what. And I feel like some people might have listened to me, because look at this, a bunch of sales happening for more than $10. The foils are now selling for $25. Yes, I love to see it. This is good. This is a staple in Lorcana, and I feel like if you have staples that are foils, they're always going to maintain their value. A bunch of non-verified listings have you for around $9 plus $4 shipping, or $10 with $3 shipping. Lowest verified is not even on the first page, but they start to hit $15 already. Let's go to the second page and see if we can find some lowest verified. All right, shout out Tailored Adventures. You guys have the lowest verified for $15. Whole New World is now a $15 super rare card, my goons. I love to see it. Lowest verified for the foil is only $17.99. Only $2 more for the foil when the verifieds are $15. That's a come up. That's a come up, my goons. Especially when this week you can already see the sales movement. A bunch were selling for 21, 24, 23. So being able to get it for less than $20, I think, is a pretty good idea. There's only 7 listings left. You know what? I'm gonna make that 6 listings, and you guys can't stop me. So go ahead and consider adding that to your cart if it's still available when you see these videos, or if you guys want to make some monies, get rid of this card. But hey, I think with Jafar, this card becomes way better, right? We have Beast Relentless, also seeing some love. The lowest verified today is $9.75, and after that it goes $10.25 for some light plates and $10.50 for the next verified seller. So I feel like this card is decent. It's not really moving in price though. The foils though are still pretty low, less than $20, and I feel like legendary foils are just good to collect. So I would probably get the legendary of those at less than 20. Maui Hero to All seeing a lot of sales movement in the foil range lately, because Maui just clears almost every location. Look how many sales we have today already for the foils. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and one of those was 2. We have 6 sales today for the foil Maui Ruby card, and mainly because this card's going to be really good next format, because it outs a lot of locations. If you can combine this with a card like LeFou, you can attack twice and definitely eliminate problematic locations. I had been said that this card is going up in price, so I'm glad to see that I was right. You know, we have Medic My Card Store for $10.71 plus $1 shipping. Next is special edition for $11.95, and that's going to be for the foil Mauis. They're about $12 now, and they're about to hit $15 very, very soon. Another card that I think is going to be good next format, because Sapphire is just, you know, really, really hyped, is going to be Fishbone Quill. These kind of came down in price in the non-foil range because they were selling for like $5. Today, the lowest verified is going to be $3.44 by by the Poke Hobby. Pretty close to the same price, right? The cold foils though, the cold foils are only about $8. We have Crispies, they have you for $8.99 with $1 shipping. So yeah, about $10. So about $10 for the foils for the Fishbone Quill today. I think this card is a good foil to have no matter what. You know what I mean? And there's a couple other cards that I feel like might kind of go up in price depending on how the format turns around, like Maleficent biding her time. This card could potentially be kind of hyped again. It was selling for about $5 when aggro was really popular. It did fall a little bit in price, and now the lowest verified is $2.93 by Mythic Edge Games with $1 shipping. But I feel like aggressive decks are definitely going to take a bigger impact on the meta with Into the Inklands, because locations give you passive lore. So the foil for this lowest verified is QB KNC for $5.85 today. We've seen that this card is getting a lot of support this format, so maybe you want to pick up Prince John's before they go back up to $5-10, because right now they're only $1.95 for Prince John's, right? And the foils are even much better of a deal. But there's a bunch of listings for these, so you can pick them up right now before the format changes. And the lowest verified for the foil is only $5. Burlington Card Shop has 2 of them, but you know what? They're not gonna have it anymore by the time you guys watch this video, because I'm gonna take them. But if you guys can find them for $5, I think a foil Prince John for $5 is a really good come up. The discard engine only gets better next format. I just want to say that. Hiram Flavorsham as well. This card comes in a starter deck, so please don't pay more than $1 for this card in the non-foil market. But if you guys get the cold foils, today the lowest verified is going to be by Burlington Card Shop for $3 and $1 shipping. The reason I bring this up is because Sapphire gets a huge boost next format. Sapphire items get a huge boost next format, and I feel like Flavorsham is just going to be even better. And if you have foil Flavorshams, at one point these were selling for $20 for the foils, you know what I mean? And yeah, like I said, it's a starter deck card, but foils are so hard to pull, my goons. So like I said, if you're going to plan on playing Sapphire next format and you want to maybe pick up some hollow Flavorshams right now, they're less than $5. And I'm pretty sure if this card ends up being popular, if Sapphire ends up being popular next format, we will see foil Flavorshams at a much higher price. Hercules Divine Hero has been selling for around $6 for the foil range. I don't know if you guys are going to be playing Hercules next format. There's only 8 listings, and I feel like you can get away with selling this for a little bit more than what it's worth today. So we have the lowest verified by $4.45 by Baby Jane's Cards. After that, the next listings start hitting like $15 really soon. So I feel like this card might not be the best next format. There's just way better outs to locations or just the characters. And Minnie Mouse Stylish Surfer, this cold foil sells for about $5 today because of Ruby Amethyst. But you know, do you think you're going to be playing this next format in Ruby Amethyst when we have locations? You know, evasive characters are great, but it's looking like Jafar might gain us a little bit more lore a little bit faster than a Minnie Mouse Surfer. You know what I mean? But that is going to be it for today's Friday Market Watch. I'm really excited for Into the Inklands. Be sure to come back Monday so we can follow up on some of these prices and see what's been going on. We are in the last week of Rise of the Floodborn format, and I am super excited. So be sure to come back, like, comment, and subscribe to Lorcana Goons, and stay tuned to the Lorcana Goons channels, and we will see you Goons next time.